People think that I was born in a very happy childhood and I got everything I needed. That's why I'm so positive and grateful. Well, the fact is the story is opposite. I remember that when I was little, my mom had to do all the work by herself because my dad, he's always a freestyle. He loved to be free. He always put his friends before the family. I was really struggling, and I remember once, there were so many times my dad would hit my mom and it was terrible. I was scared, but I was also very courageous. Sometimes try to make myself to be the one who can help my mom to be the superhero. And this once, it's a very deep memory. Every time when I talk about it, I might be like, yeah, just tears might come out, and it's just very emotional. I remember the day my mom was really tired after whole days of work. She works in a factory, and she went to work for a long time, and finally she's home. She made this nice meal. It's not as great as whatever you see in a restaurant, but she did her best. She is not a person who learns things very fast, and she's always self-taught things, and she did her best. But the problem is my dad is always drunk, and he always got drunk when he came home. And there was once when he came home, and yeah, my mom was so scared of him, and I was looking at them, and I got this feeling there's going to be a big storm coming tonight, which is my dad. When he's home, everybody was so nervous. Everybody's so worried that something bad will happen. And that was the night when my dad was eating, and when he saw, I still remember what my mom had cooked, because my mom always wanted to delight my dad, and all she does is for my dad. And because my dad is so self-centered, everything should be about him. He needs all the attention. And that night, my mom cooked the spicy bacon, and I think she put into the steamed rice together. And I thought that was amazing because we love spicy food, and I really enjoyed that one. But my dad said, wow, this is so yucky, and he's never grateful. He started to complain, this. And my heart was so ache and so sore. And then all in a sudden, my mom never really bounced back to my dad, but that night my mom said, no, I think it's quite nice. And because she said that, it irritated my dad, and he literally just became like an animal, crazy, and started to hit my mom again, screaming and shouting, how dare you to fight me back and to say things like this. And I could not resist anymore. I was so mad. I was crying, screaming. I said, this is enough, stop it, don't touch my mom. And I was like a superhero that night, but I was shaking when I was saying that. But it's terrible. I was so young. I did not need that kind of childhood memories. It's all about fear, ungratefulness. It's very sad. How could I get through that is writing their diary and the journal is one of the best way to help me get through my bitterness, my sadness. And I remember I always cry, just hiding myself, crying on the blanket. I did not know how to say this to anyone. I did not want anyone to know I felt ashamed. Why was I born in such kind of family? And I had to learn how to cook rice. I could do so many things, be independent. When I saw the neighborhood that the children there, the same age, they got their mom, dad care, and they always get things ready for them. I was dreaming to be a princess, but unfortunately I wasn't. And that is why it gave me so much strength every time I say to myself, I'm gonna create my own kingdom. I'm gonna be the queen. I need to be independent. I do not want living this anymore. And yeah, that's a lot of motivations, I think. So this is the thing, when bad things happen to you, you can choose. If you choose to bend your head and to surrender that this is it, I have nothing I could do, and I will just be living in the fearful environment. Or you can choose to be courageous, to stand up and to change your environment, to be the one who can bring the light. and that's what I chose. And I guess the story that I had gave me so much energy and inspiration to chase more peace, joy, unity. I wanted to have a perfect family. I know no family is indeed perfect, but at least I want a family that is full of love, and the parents who love each other, the kids will not be suffering. And so I chose to keep believing and keep chasing the hope and the future. And I did it. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy that I knew my husband, Luke, and we built up this beautiful family with our 2 beautiful kids, and we're really blessed. Not just that, we always believe that when we are blessed, God wants us to bless others. It's not just about ourselves. This world, if we don't find a purpose to love others, there's no purpose there, and you will lose your passion, you will lose your goal, your direction. And with a purposeless life, it's going to be very miserable. So I choose to find my purpose and build up amazing communities wherever I go. So SGN, after so many years, the dream, the seed was sowed in my mind and my dreams, and it just came true. And I'm really grateful that all the people I knew for the last 20 years, when I reached out to some of them, people were just, oh, I remember you. It's amazing to know that when people remember you, that means at least it's either good or bad, but I'm glad that it's mostly good. And the other thing, I got dreams, as you are aware as well. I always wanted to be an author, and English is not my first language, but I just loved it so much. And I just started to become an author 2 years ago by co-authoring with other international women on one book called Changemakers. And then I got my own book published, and it's The Joyful Leader in You. And that's a book. It took me a long time, but this is the thing. Dreams can come true. Don't dare to dream. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And this is a dream come true. I have so many other dreams as well. So I'm here to encourage everyone who's in the conference, whoever is listening to this message. You can do anything, and you can dream. There's nothing you cannot do unless you cannot dream about. So start dreaming. Not the daydreaming though. Start dreaming. Because it is possible, it is powerful. Find your vision. Find your vision for yourself, for your company, who you will become for the coming 5-10 years. Think about it, picture about it, and your company as well. It is all achievable. I proved this, and I know that SGN is going to be very successful. And I know every one of you here, if you believe what I say, you will be very successful. You will be amazing as well. Connecting the world, empowering dreams. That's the focus on this 2024 SGNC. Connecting the world is not just connecting the world. It's actually connecting people from different places in the world. And this is our focus. And I'm so excited that I know whoever's attending the conference, whoever is part of this network, is connected. And how great for me to see this, because I know that my North Star is always there. The unity will be always there. And I know that because of the unity, and when we get together, we can walk further. When you want to be alone, you can work faster, but when you work together, you can work much further. And that is my belief. Regarding empowering dreams, as you know that I got so many dreams in my life, and I was always making fun with my husband Luke. He's a very opposite personality as mine, but we're a perfect match. And when we talk about dreams, I had plenty, but he said, yeah, I got a dream and it's done, so no more. And it's funny. But talking about dreams, I had fulfilled so many of them. First of all, I did leave my city and where I was born, the town, the village. I was struggling, and I moved to another city, which I studied a bit further rather than in the same place. And another thing is, when I was in the university, as you guys were aware, I graduated earlier because I skipped high school. After 3 years middle school, I just started the prep. path before university. And then through the university time, I became the captain of this and that. I do music, I do broadcasting, I do even the designer for, we got this blackboard, these newsletters. I did all of these designs as well. And I became really famous on directing some amazing drama, amazing things on the stage. I designed dancing moves. And I just feel like life is amazing. When I focus on my dreams and when I know that I'm a dream maker and I can realize so many things in my life, it's so beautiful. Life is amazing. Also, when I started working in the logistics industry, I went to those conferences, and then when I was only 18, people came to me and say, "Whoa, are you from high school, or why are you here?" Obviously, I started working when I was really young, and that makes a difference. And I was laughing, no, I'm not. And someone even thought I was the ex-owner's daughter. And they're like, okay, whatever you thought, at least I give you a great impression, like deep impression, no matter it's good or bad. And the dream that I had for SGN was back then. There was a seed that's sowing in me. I love these multinational feelings. I love to see people with different skin colors and from different places come together and be so united. And that dream never really leaves me. I always believe that when you have a unity, when you have an amazing environment, and when everybody as a team get together, whether it's your family, your staff, your business partners, as long as there's unity, there's always great result. Which is why I always set up unity as my North Star whenever I go. For example, when I went to Toll sponsored me, and I made a great difference in there. I remember there's colleagues, and between Australia and China and the other regions and other branches, people might have a little bit, disagreement or argument and things like that. When I got involved, when I show compassion, understandings, and things just got so well, and everybody started to love each other. And that's the great part I really enjoyed. Whenever I go, I want to make a difference. I guess that's the missing part. When I was little, I was always chasing that peace, that unity. And I really want this world to have more and more unity and more peace, so that nobody will be suffering like what I did when I was little. It's also the same when I worked for Shankar. I got the team in Sydney and I managed them virtually through the COVID time. It was very challenging at the beginning, but I was so grateful at the end of my stay in the company. All the team members loved so much about each other, and they just became so united. And before I left, I could feel the difference that I made, and I was so glad. Yes, it's always my dream. It's always my North Star. And which is why now we got SGN. It's an amazing community. I know it's not easy to run a network, and I also know if you want to run a network in the same way what others do, you can get a lot of members, you can get a lot of money if you want, but I just want to choose the narrow road. Yes, it's not easy, but I believe when you believe, miracles happens. Which is why I am so excited for SGN. I'm so excited for the future of this network. We are going to be so unique and different, and we're going to make huge difference in this network and in this world as well.